What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast, celebrating 6 years of podcasting. This is episode 498. I am your host, Stevie, alongside, holding the fort down with me, Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. The hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. I had a beautiful beach day, and now I'm here with you, boo.
Yes, exactly. On this Labor Day, when we record this before it drops, and we were giving our other hosts a day off. One of them was supposed to join us. We're not going to mention which one. I think they're having a little bit too much fun. But I'm sure they are, and that's okay. It's that
we
Labor
miss
Day.
them and we love them.
End of summertime. How did you spend the end of summer? As they officially, it's not truly the end of summer, but you know.
I know.
How did you spend it? What did you do?
We went to the beach. I'm gonna go out to dinner with a friend of mine. I'm just gonna go and be gay and merry and happy. How about you? How are you spending the end of summer?
Well, I'm still in Puerto Vallarta, which I adore and love, and went to the beach yesterday. Oh my gosh, I had such a great time on the beach with my sister, just so much fun. And today I actually didn't really take a Labor Day working on the show, went to the gym, but you know, I love what we do and here we are.
When you love what you do, it's not work, right?
Exactly. Well, let's get into it because there's a lot of topics to get into. And one of which is a follow-up to a story that you and I talked about last week on Tags Live. I'm talking about Strictly Come Dancing, the sister show to the what's the ballroom dancing on ABC here in the States?
Oh my gosh, I know it. Oh my gosh, I have beach brain. Okay, it is called Dancing with the Stars. That's what it's called.
I know, Dancing with the Stars. So we were talking about the contestant John Whaite, who was dancing with choreographer who's a part of the show, Johannes Radebe, and how John Whaite admitted to falling in love with Johannes, even though he was engaged and has been with his partner for, I believe, 14, 15 years. And so he admitted that it really put a damper on their relationship. They even took a break, him meaning John Whaite and his fiancée. They apparently are back on track and no word if they're going to get married. We were joking that Johannes probably won't be invited to the wedding, although there's a follow-up because Johannes has actually spoken after this and had
what?
Yeah, but in true, I mean, I think they all live in Britain, very diplomatic and almost not skirted it. I'll read you what he said.
Okay.
When the Times asked him to respond to the fact that the partner was in love with John Whaite, was in love with them. Here's what he had to say. We have gone on to have such a beautiful experience together that it would be a shame if we were not friends after all of that. He said, what we agreed is that regardless of what life throws at us, we will always keep this friendship going. We are friends for life. I always say to him, I know where you live. You cannot get rid of me. I still speak to him. And here's the twist that I think is really beautiful that the South African dancer and choreographer stated, I want a partner. I want one. I need one. Every aspect of my life is great except for that. I deserve love, and I never, ever thought that I deserved to be loved in that way. So, Kodi, I think this is really, he didn't address the actual issue that John fell in love with him per se, and maybe the drama that ensued for John. I think in very British ways, he's South African, but I'm sure he lives in London, kept it very diplomatic and talked about the friendship. But what I do like is the honesty that he is really looking for love for himself. So he's putting that out there. And what did you think with this response?
I loved it. I think it's so great. And it just goes to show what I had to say back when we reported on Tags Live, that this experience probably opened them up to a lot of love and a lot of different ways that people can love. And I really think that Johannes got to discover that he is deserving of love. And when you can come to that that realization, I think that is such a beautiful thing. So I'm so happy for Johannes. I mean, but he did say that he knew where he lived. That sounds kind of a little stalkerish, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure he meant it in a way as in, I know who you are. I know the type of person that you are. But I mean, he probably could have rephrased it, if you ask me personally. What did you think about it?
I thought the same thing. I thought it was carefully crafted, and he didn't get drama with it and go into details on, did he fall in love with John? I don't think he wanted to go there and continue to stir this very delicate pot up more. And so I think he gave very articulate answers to a situation that could get kind of messy. I agree with you. The issue of I know where you live kind of thing. It's like, ooh, okay, he better get an invitation to that wedding now. So yeah, but I do like that he turned it around in the end and said what he's actually looking for and put it out there. And now with that statement out there, he's a beautiful, gorgeous, sexy man. And I think he will find love.
Hello.
Here's our partner coming on. Hello, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We are going already, and we almost threw you under the bus, but we won't.
Hey, boo.
We were joking that perhaps you had a little bit too much fun in P-Town, but what can you tell us? How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was so action-packed and a lot of fun. So I started off with a gay barbecue on Friday night.
Nice.
It was a day trip to P-Town with the gays. And then Sunday and today were beach and booze with the girls.
Oh my God, I love it.
Hence why I'm a half hour late. And my phone was on 0%, so it was on the charger.
Yeah. I get that.
Love it. Well, we thank you for joining us. That's awesome. So much fun. I want to talk a little bit. Actually, I was going to just quote a couple things about P-Town because I pulled up this article that was kind of the history. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com because it gives the history of P-Town, of when, just how it all began. I mean, we're talking about the 1800s when it actually became an artist community, and that's when a lot of gay activists joined it, and it became very gay. It's only 3 miles wide, but at any given point in time in the summer, 60,000 people are on what's known as P-Town. It's like a peninsula, exactly. And so if you think about it, they only have 10 gay bars in the area. But like I said, it only runs about 3 miles long. That's kind of a lot. There's things celebrated like 4th of July weekend, Carnival is a big one, Bear Week, and of course, Halloween. All a lot of fun. Celebrities love to go to it. It's just so much fun. I mean, did you have a blast in P-Town?
Yeah, definitely. I love the vibe there. It's so chill. Everyone's super nice, and it's just very it feels like a walking gay party, but it's also very family oriented as well. And there's just a lot of cool artwork and people and fun outfits and themes, and the tea is what they're really known for, which is the 4 to 7 every day at the boat slip resort.
Right. So much fun. Oh my God.
I want to go.
Yeah, exactly. We have got to go. It's just one of my favorite places. So
yeah,
okay,
definitely.
let's do it.
Okay, let's get back into hot topics. And one of them, oh my God, I was so distraught because I love this singer, Roisin Murphy. She's from Ireland. She's super, super popular. Her new album drops this Friday. Hit Parade. I already love 3 of the songs that have been out there. But of course, like a lot of these artists, they keep putting their foot in their mouth and saying things that, like, why do you got to go there? Kodi and I talked about Santana recently in Atlantic City, who said anti-trans remarks, saying essentially that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and I don't care what you do, but keep it in the closet. Those words exactly. And of course, there was no impetus as to why he had to say that. It just, he said it. And of course, he gave some lame apology. Well, now, not as bad. Thank goodness. I will still listen to the album of Roisin Murphy when it drops this Friday, because I don't think it's as bad as Santana. But she has been said, she put up a somewhat anti-trans, if you will, about kids, essentially saying that kids are too young little mixed up kids are vulnerable and need to be protected. That's just true, she wrote, when talking about beta blockers for younger trans kids. And she also stated things like the pharmaceutical companies are laughing all the way to the bank. And so I just think, but in reality, science has shown that the opposite. The medical journal Pediatric found suicidal ideation decreases with access to puberty blockers during adolescence. And the Journal of American Medical Association found that 60% lower odds of depression and 73% lower odds of suicidality in adolescents who were taking puberty blockers. So the science is there. It is one of those dicey topics. I get it. I don't think I would get involved with that topic and certainly ruin my career with this. I mean, why do you think, Jeremy, some of these artists are getting involved in saying these anti-trans remarks when they don't even know what they're talking about?
I don't know, and it's like definitely ignorant on their part. I feel like it's so much easier to just be and stay neutral with most of your messages and anything that you put out there, especially in today's day and age where cancel culture is like such a big thing, and it could like negatively affect your business and your safety and your well-being. And others' safety and well-being. And I just think it's really like stupid, and all of these celebrities, like managers, need to step up their game on versing their artist in just culture and knowing how to be, if not well-rounded, then quiet about their beliefs.
Yes. Right. This comes amid, Kodi, when the Texas Supreme Court allowed a new state law that's banning gender-affirming care for transgender youth to take effect on September 1st. An array of medically accepted treatments such as hormones and puberty blockers will now be prohibited. So,
wow.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on when artists or any of this that is going on? What do you have to say about all that?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. And I totally agree with Jeremy. The managers need to take their phones at the very, very least, because that
check your phone if you're an artist with your manager and don't give it back.
Right?
Until the end of the tour.
I feel like there's a lot of misinformation about transitioning as a youth all across the board, personally. And I think that when we talk about trans youth, people think of little kids and putting little kids on beta blockers, and that's not the case. They're at 13, 14, something like that. They're old enough to kind of formulate their own views and things of that nature. And I think that it should be a discussion between the parents and the children. You shouldn't insert yourself into a conversation that should be between a family. And Roisin Murphy, I like her. I like the music, and I think that you're right. Take her phone away, okay?
Yeah, I mean, she, like many of the artists, had an apology. I liked her apology a little bit more, but like Jeremy said, cancel culture is real. They already had to block two of her all press they dropped for this album because they know that question is going to come up. Any journalist is going to ask that, and it's going to take away the focus of what she wants to talk about, the new album. The two London dates, she was going to do an acoustic performance in London. Both of them canceled them as well. And so it's just like, not off to a good start. And then the other thing, it's like, why do these artists want to focus on this one particular issue? There's so many things going on in the world right now. If you wanted to talk about trans, what about all the trans women that are murdered on a daily basis that nobody ever talks about, and the violence towards the LGBTQ community that is run rampant? it's like, talk about those things. I mean, on the other hand, we should talk about an artist that is actually doing the very opposite, and we applaud her. I'm talking about Lady Gaga using her Las Vegas residency to remind everybody that she's a queer icon. And in her jazz, I would really love to see this show because it's her jazz and piano residency where she does classic songs and jazz. And I love all that. She took to sing her song. She sang Lady Be Good. She sang Steppin' Out with My Baby. But then she did a version of Born This Way, which she dedicated to a specific group in the LGBTQ plus community. I've got something to say about trans rights in this country, Gaga said before starting to play opening piano chords for Born This Way. When you've got something to say, you've got to speak up, right? And when she sang the line, "There's nothing wrong with loving who you are," she said, "'cause he made you perfect, babe." She turned to the audience, directing them to sing along to the lyrics. And just sometimes you hear people say things like, "I don't know what to say." Just listen, she said. Don't say nothing. Listen to the stories of real people's lives, she added. Really the opposite of what some of these artists have been doing, and applaud Lady Gaga for her stance in using her art form, a song that continues to have meaning to all of the LGBTQ plus community. So I applaud her, and let's hope that other artists follow suit. Okay, let us move on to, I was going to do this topic. Let me just get this other one. Actually, this one will do because it reminded me of Jeremy. Boston actually and no longer requires gender identification on marriage licenses. This is trailblazing. If you remember, Boston was the first city or Massachusetts to legalize gay marriage, which is amazing. The first city ever. Well, now following suit, Boston has updated its marriage licenses going forward. They will no longer require gender identification. And it means a lot for couples that are applying to get married because they don't have to necessarily disclose gender. So for people like the trans community, non-binary, and gender diverse people, the change could help alleviate gender dysphoria. I think it's a major. How do you feel being a part of close to Boston, Jeremy, and know that it's on the cutting edge for marriage, for our community?
I love it, and I'm really proud to be. It's having it close to home.
I really like that. I mean, Kodi, what are your thoughts? Because it seems like a minor thing, but to a lot of people, it's a major thing, and a marriage license is a major document. And what if you identified as a gender or pronoun that didn't recognize it on your marriage license? Would you even feel like it was legitimized?
Yeah, no, this totally, I can see how this would make so many more people feel included and as part of the community. The larger societal community of the world and the United States and Boston, because it really makes them feel seen, and that is so important. So I'm so happy, and I'm so glad that they're doing this. It's just amazing.
I love it. Yes, I 100% agree. Let's move on to one of our favorite artists here over at TAGSPodcast. I'm talking about John Duff and his brand new single, Somebody's Daughter. I actually love this song. It's so good. His voice is so throaty and deep. It's really good. Ooh. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the music video for Somebody's Daughter, but
yes, I love the video.
Oh my God, it's so good. Well, we always talk about gay baiting and how people like artists like Harry Styles and Charlie Puth and even Maluma, but maybe gay baiting our community by all of their sexy, thirsty photos that they put out there. And the definition of gay baiting essentially is making money off of our community. Well, John Duff has had enough, essentially. And in this music video, his wife is a sexy blonde in the video. There are actors in this. John Duff is the husband. And he essentially, I'll put this up on tagspodcast.com, but he is credited as himself and wife whining and dining the beautiful blonde, scrubbing down in the shower naked, making home movies for like his OnlyFans, and she's filming them, which is hilarious. Pruning in the garden, everything in there. It's just so fun, and the whole question is like she's somebody's daughter, but if her father only knew. In a recent interview, he said, honestly, every artist today is gay baiting, and LGBTQ plus media eats it up. The artist shares, Maluma took off his shirt, give it a grid post, as though every freaking gay isn't posting shirtless pictures every day. It's exhausting. That's why I'm going against the grain in my new song and video. I'm straight baiting. Maybe now I can be fetishized too. It's campy, it's fun. Ultimately, he really just is saying, encouraging other LGBTQ plus artists to have fun, have a sense of humor with this. It's not that serious. What did you guys think of the music video, Jeremy, when you saw it? What did you think of the song and the content?
I love it. I think it's juicy and fun. I love the message, and it's hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
And sexy at the same time.
Oh my God, super sexy. Kodi, I was talking to you before we pressed record, and you were hot and bothered by John. I was too, kind of. He's like that hot.
I'm still hot and bothered by him. Just even thinking about it, I had to watch it twice to even notice that there was a girl in the video. So yeah, this is great. I'm glad that he's straight baiting. I've been fetishizing him for so long because he's just gorgeous, and I hope that other people start to fetishize him as well because he's fetishizable. Is that a word? I don't think so. But
well,
you know what?
We're going to go with it. Yeah, it's Labor Day, and we're going to give you a pass on that. So
thank you, totally.
Say it. Absolutely. It's funny because there's that movie. I know you saw it. I don't know if you saw it, Jeremy. Red, White, and Royal Blue.
No, I want to watch that.
Me too. I want to watch it as well. It's supposed to be really good. My sister was commenting about there are so many rom-coms out there for straights over the years. I mean, ad nauseum, right? And it's nice to see, even if you think, like Kodi said, although Kodi liked it in his review, called it a little schmaltzy, but aren't all rom-coms, I would argue. And she was saying there's so many. It's nice, it's time for ones of the LGBTQ plus community to catch up. So sorry, I thought that was a really good point. The other thing I would say too is Maluma recently, when asked, why do you post all these thirsty pictures? He said that it's really just me. This is how I am. So somebody in the comments section said, I don't know if it's really gay baiting, if these artists, maybe in the case of Harry Styles, perhaps, but I say whatever. This is just a funny video. I think there's always been more hetero cisgendered art out there, and now we're trying to even the pendulum a little bit more, and I think it's kind of refreshing. So I don't know. That's my take. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Apparently, there's a new enemy on the dance floor, and it's changing. Actually, a lot of DJs are kind of annoyed by it because I'm talking about the drug Special K or ketamine, and it's gone so crazy. There's a whole article on it. I'll post it on TAGSPodcast.com. Recently, a DJ in the UK tweeted out of his observation that the energy in the club has been completely muddled by the overuse of the club drug K, which medical practitioners and veterinarians used as an anesthetic. It's a horse tranquilizer, essentially. It's been around forever. I mean, back in the 90s, I remember somebody gave it to me without my consent, and I was a go-go dancer, and I started to hallucinate, climbed on the walls practically. My friend had to take me home. It was awful. I was so pissed off at my friend, and I said, never again. Plus, I don't want to be in a tranquilized state of form, but apparently it's a big deal because a lot of DJs climbed onto that DJ's remarks and said, yeah, it's really changing the mood on the dance floor. I mean, I've seen on the dance floor people too where they had to cart them off because they took too much. That's the problem. I think people are taking too much. Jeremy, when you're on the dance floor, do you want to be slowed down and catatonic And essentially what it does is it puts you in your own state. You're not really interacting with people.
No, I don't like to have like an out of body experience. I like to be present and in the moment and enjoying, but also having fun just on my own level of choice.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember the tea dance in P-Town is in the middle of the day, it's happy, fun music. You're dancing, but you're like looking at your neighbors and your friends, and it's just happy, happy feeling and a lot of energy. The
Definitely.
opposite of what Kay does, I think. And so I just think it is kind of a potential problem. I don't know, Kodi, you have in the past gone out to more parties than I have. What's
Okay.
your observation about this? About this? Do you think it's killing the party? Murder on the dance floor?
I don't know. I've never actually even hung out with somebody that has done Special K before on the dance
But you've
floor.
seen it. Let's not
Think
act
I feel
so.
like I'm like, oh, I'm
I
a
don't know that I've even
Special
been
K
to a club
virgin.
before.
What's a
I
club?
mean,
I'm sure I've
Jeremy,
seen
is
it.
that not how he sounded
Yeah, he's knitting in his living room at home.
on a Saturday night? Exactly. Okay, girl. Now let's get the real Cody back.
Okay,
And
all right. Yes, girl. When they be carting the girls out of the club, I am aghast, and I just don't understand it. So no, I hear you. I definitely think it's become an issue. I just think overall drugs in the club have become problematic because people don't really, from my experience and from the outside looking in, people are not. They don't know about moderation, and they don't know when enough is enough. As soon as people are able to take better control of whatever they do, even alcohol, then I feel like we would be in a better state. But you know what? Till then, I'm going to knit in my living room, like you guys
okay.
I
said.
do
No,
remember too, like working in nightlife, you see people like show up at the start of the night and like fall face down like concrete stairs. And it's just like sad and like scary to see
Yeah.
that and like not know that they are gonna like change their ways or just do it again.
yeah, we all share a friend in common that is a bartender at a place in New York. That's all I'm saying. That in texting before we did the show, I was like, "Hey, how was last night, Sunday night before Labor Day?" And he said, "Crazy, of course, amateur hour." But the one thing he said is the paramedics had to come 4 times
Oh
in one
my
What?
night,
gosh.
and that obviously is awful for the venue because you can't have that many calls because before it threatens the nature of the if it's a club it's a one-off, maybe not so much, but it's like it's not never good for the venue
Yeah.
Four
because
nights, 4 times in a night. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it
yeah.
is.
So I think we'll continue to monitor this, but if you are going to partake, you need to do your research and you need to know how you react to these things because you don't want to be that one that falls out. It's never fun. I had to, not to TMI, but I had to help a friend once who did take too much of something and it wasn't fun because I had to go to the emergency room with him and it's not how I
Yeah.
wanted to spend the rest of my night. So yeah. Okay. Be safe, everybody. Get the info you need. It's time for some advice, though. And we love giving advice on this show. When you guys write in, this person wrote in, Andre wrote in, and he said, "Hello, I'm in an open relationship. We've been together for 2 years and 4 months. We opened our relationship about a year ago. I do love my boyfriend and think he is the best human being, best traveler, partner, best chef." Ooh, okay. But I'm getting tired of having sex with him. All right, be honest. I feel the chemistry is going away, and now I want to chill with him, cuddle with him, but I don't want to have sex with him, but I still love him. He has expressed that he feels like I'm always tired or I have excuses for not having sex. And he's right. I told him it is not him, it is me. And sometimes it is like eating an apple every day. You get tired of it after so many. Girl, I hear you. Switch to strawberries. But I don't know what to do. Still love him a lot. We tried threesomes, but we have different tastes. And it is hard when choosing someone. Need some advice, guys. By the way, love your show, and I've been listening to you for about a year more. Thanks you so much, Andre. Um, Wow, this is an interesting one, but that I think many couples go through. I don't know,
Yeah.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts and advice for Andre?
I wonder if he has tried spicing up his sexual appetite towards his partner. Like if there are any if there's anything that he could try to maybe entice himself into, I don't know, being more attracted to his partner just in the sex realm of things.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think, I mean, sometimes it does sizzle out, and I think that reigniting the spark would help, but I'm not sure if he's already done so, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not sure if he's already taken some steps towards that. And obviously, one of the steps is opening up the relationship. But when you have different tastes, I mean, that alone makes it more difficult.
Yeah, one thing we didn't get in this is have they had the conversation? I don't remember reading that. Do you guys remember hearing anything I said where they've
Mm-mm.
actually talked about this and how maybe the partner feels about it? I
No,
know.
it seems like he has an inclination of what's going on. And I think that it would be good to maybe discuss it out loud to see where they both are in communicating their feelings towards each other and just the relationship. But
Mm.
because if they can make the relationship open and decide on having a third or a threesome, then I think that it would be really good to talk about it together as well. Just
Yeah, and
maybe things that they could work on, or I don't know, just to, like I said, spice it up and make it maybe lighthearted and not so serious or detrimental to their relationship.
good point, because I think a lot of people, when they get to that point, it's dun 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 dun, and
Yeah.
it's like, uh-oh, the road to disaster. And it maybe doesn't have to be. I mean, I think the good news, Andre, is you love your partner. You love cuddling with him. You love traveling with him. All these things that you don't get from a hookup that take a
Right.
long
And I think they
time.
take, it's like you said, it takes so much effort to even find just that. I think it takes
Right.
effort nowadays just to find friends that you want to like keep around and actually care about. So, I mean, I don't think it's worth throwing it away, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like he wants to. So I said, kudos to you for finding that with him. And I would
Hmm.
want to know, have you had that conversation yet to see where he stands on opening this up? I have a couple more thoughts, but Kodi, I want to hear from you.
Yeah, I could not agree with you guys more. I was just sitting over here and clapping and silently because you guys said everything that I wanted to say. I just think that it's really great that they have found this commonality and this love and that they share. I do think that the first step is talking to your partner about this and also seeing and exploring sexually, because I think that that is a really big part of it. Maybe he is open to some things that you didn't know that he was open to. Maybe you should probably open up your mind a little bit to see what you can do to explore sex with this person that you love so much. And also take into consideration that sex in a relationship is going to ebb and flow. You're going to have moments where you are not having as much sex, and you're going to have moments when you're having the most sex that you've ever had in your life. So take that into consideration and just know that it's all a journey at the end of the day. What were you going to say, Steve?
Love that. No, I love that advice. And I was just going to add to the fact that we would just want to know, have you had this conversation yet? Let us know on that. But one of the things, I was recently interviewed for an upcoming interview for Gay Cities about sex positive travel. And one of the advice I was giving for couples, if they want to, they're busy, maybe they're in this rut like this couple, that we've had guests on our show, sex positive coaches, sex and intimacy coaches like Finn Deerhart. We've had in our upcoming show that's going to come out, we've had Francisco Ramos, who has gay retreats that he does. And all of these are kind of designed, not necessarily, but really positive for couples, retreats, that you can go on. There's tantra retreats where these experts in intimacy coaching have you, first of all, you're often in beautiful settings, and they put you through exercises. Some of them are touch exercises, some of them are communication exercises. You get to know your partner in different ways. You put the phones aside. You are amongst other types of people that want to increase intimacy, to get to know things like tantra, the power of touch, new ways to explore. And so before you write off that you're no longer interested, Andre, in your partner sexually in that way, maybe this would be something to consider, to go on one of these retreats. And sometimes a lot of these retreats are just day things that you can do online or in wherever city you're at too. You don't even have to go on a vacation. But since you both like to travel, this could be something to explore. And maybe on that trip, you could talk about open relationships too, polyamory. You could talk about these things. If you love this person so much, I guarantee they're going to want to continue to nurture this beautiful relationship that you've started, and they're going to want to work through something to keep this going, however it morphs into, which could ultimately be more beautiful.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Andre, let us know where this goes and what direction you're going to head in, because we're excited about it. And I think this is all doable and workable. So let us know. Okay, one more piece of advice for a listener that wrote into us. They emailed us. By the way, you can DM us on any one of our Instagram accounts, which we'll give at the end of the show. But you can also go to the website and use the contact form to ask us for some advice. And this one comes from Don. Don wrote in, "Hi Tags, big fan of your podcast. I love you all. I will be attending Folsom Street Fair for the first time this year, and would appreciate any tips, recommendations, what to do, not do from your team. I hope to see you guys there. Keep up the amazing work. Lots of love." Well, let's start with Jeremy first. I'm from San Francisco. I have a few thoughts, and I know Kodi's been to Folsom East. And then I'll read an actual article that came out about this upcoming 40th anniversary of the Folsom Street Fair this year. But Jeremy, what do you recall when you went and we had a jewelry or a accessory line that we were going to launch at that time? And what do you remember about the Folsom Street Fair?
I remember it was definitely a lot going on, but super fun and definitely an action-packed day. I wouldn't say that there's anything you shouldn't do. I would just say have a blast and make sure you go with an open mind.
Definitely an open mind. I cannot emphasize that enough. The Folsom Street Fair spans several blocks. It's huge. It's iconic. The city actually says that within these confines of these streets, you can actually be naked. I mean, it pulls in tons of money for the city of San Francisco. It's iconic. You're going to see all kinds of demonstrations, from flogging to being rope tied to, you can participate in a lot of these. You're going to see puppy play. You're going to see doms, subs, people naked, people having sex in certain areas. There's booths all over the area where you can find great merch that from some of the top leading leather experts and fetish, BDSM, all of them are there. It's just a great thing. There's also parties associated with the festival that have emerged over the years. And I would just say, look up what's going on in San Francisco. If you want to do some of those parties, just be sure to leave Sunday open, because the festival, I believe, is all day long, and you do not want to miss that. That's what Folsom really is. The parties are extra, often cost a lot more, and you might want to do some of those. Maybe do a Friday night party and something earlier Saturday, because you want to get up and be fresh in your leather garb or whatever it is fetish you're into to look the part. But Kodi, I don't think you've been to Folsom Street Fair, but I know you've been to Folsom East. And what's some of the things that you do to prepare for that?
Oh yeah, I just love going and making sure that I have a cute outfit and things like that, and make sure I go, like you guys said, with an open mind and go to experience the leather culture, because I think that it's so expansive and people kind of limit it or they don't really know what it's all about. So you guys really sold me on Folsom. The original Folsom. I want to go really bad, and I want to see what it's all about, because I'm open to new experiences.
I love it. And Don, there's an article that just came out, and it talks about the upcoming 40th anniversary on September 24th. Like I said, it's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's when Kinksters take over what's called Soma, or South of Market, in San Francisco on Folsom Street between 8th and 13th Street, where exhibitionists, voyeurs all come in union. One of the things that I noticed in some of their advice is you can get caught up, it can get so packed. And on this 40th anniversary, I know it's going to be totally packed. But one of the things they said to do is don't be afraid to pull back to the sides of the street and kind of park yourself there, or park yourself in one of the vendors areas. When we had our booth, remember, Jeremy, we had people just kind of come in and hang out.
Yeah.
And they were kicking it with us, and it was super fun. But that's when you get to see, if you just stop, you'll get to see the parade of people walking by. And instead of getting in a rut of this, trying to get behind too many people, you can see so many things. You can see naked people, you can see acts happening that you would miss if you just were in this rut. There's also music stages you'll want to check out. There are, this year, because cannabis is legal, there's a cannabis garden, which is going to be on 12th Street that you may want to check out. Of course, the main stage is going to have, there's a rope stage where people get tied up. There's a drag stage, a playground stage, a wrestling stage. Oh, that sounds fun. I like all that. DJs and go-go's. So you definitely want to, like all good events planned, you definitely want to make time just for this festival. If you've never been to it, act like the parties are extra, but do not stay up all night on Saturday night and wake up late, because it's only 11 to 6. So you don't want to miss this. It's like the main event. Do something Friday night, and then something, earlier Saturday, and be fresh for Sunday. Because you can always go out Sunday night. There's always a party to go to after it. But that would be our advice. Have fun, Dawn. Kind of jealous because I'm not going to be there in my old stomping ground, but have a blast.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, we want to give some other advice from a Reddit thread. This one was hilarious, actually. A woman wrote into a gay men's Reddit column saying, "Is fingering the prostate too much harmful? Hi, guys. I'm actually a girl, but recently my boyfriend and I've tried fingering him, and he loved it. However, I don't think I fingered his prostate yet, and I think he came from the new feeling. I know how to find it, but as I was doing research, I saw someone say not to overdo it, as in touch it too much, because they were in some pain for a couple days afterwards. Is this true? I want my boyfriend to feel good, but I don't want him to be in pain. Also, is it okay to just keep on prodding it, or should I circle and touch the prostate and then out and then touch it again? I don't know. Please give some tips." I feel so silly making a post, but I really want to make my boyfriend feel good and not hurt him. Please help. I love that this girl came to gay men to find out about pleasure.
The experts.
The experts. I mean, I have some thoughts. Kodi, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think that you know what? From my experience, I have stimulated the prostate a bunch, and I've never had any adverse reactions to it. So I say, go for the gold, honey. Do your thing. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, I think definitely lube. We talk to Dr. Goldstein all the time, a leading proctologist, that whether it's a dick or a finger, there cannot be enough lube, and silicone's going to be your friend, I think, because that's the one that's just going to slide in there more, and that will cause less pain. I think a dry finger is that's where the pain could come from. But also talk to your partner. Look at his expressions. See how he's, don't go in there full throttle right away. Play with it. Think of it as, take some time with it and have some fun with it. See how he reacts. Tell him to respond as you're doing it. And then you can go in there, and once you're relaxed it fully, that's when you can start having fun with it and going a little bit harder and deeper. But that would be my advice. I don't know, Jeremy, you love a good ass. What's your thoughts on pleasing?
I was going to say she should probably try rimming him as well. Oh. That would be like a fun step, easing him into like more ass play.
Oh, I love that. And when you're eating someone's guy's ass, do you just stick the tongue in, or do you have all kinds of technique, I'm sure?
Yeah, I mean, you can nibble on it, you can bite it, you can lick it and spank it, and
flip it up and turn it
there's like just a bunch of different things that you can do, and that I think would maybe ease his like, I don't know, just arouse him more into getting into ass play.
Get it, girl. I think you're onto it, and I love you checking in with the gays because we know
one
what we're
more
doing.
Thing, though. One more thing. Make sure your fingernails are cut. That is very, very important.
Oh, definitely.
Always. Thank you.
And by cut, not sharp.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
All the way off, baby.
Yes, I'm going to cut my nails right after this episode. Real quick, just how are we feeling about, I feel like this summer in particular, it went by at lightning speed. It was one of my best summers in many years. I know the pandemic has ended sort of in the last several years, but this year has been like everybody's back to it. Like I keep saying, everyone's on tour and concert. Did you feel like it was a little quick, and are you missing it? That, Labor Day always signifies the end of summer, even though it's really in a couple weeks. But Jeremy, I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know you just got back from Italy. What can you tell us?
I think it was definitely one of my best summers that I've had in a while, but I also feel like because it's been so action-packed, it's been going
exhausting.
By. It's been flying by like just so fast. And I am kind of excited for fall, which is like a very popular season, especially in my area. And I love Halloween coming up and the holidays and stuff. So I'm kind of excited for just what's to come.
Yeah, I kind of feel that I've lived it so intensely this summer. I think I went to the Naked Beach more times than ever. My friend and I said, how many times did we go last year? Okay, let's double it. And we did. And so, and on top of that, I've been in Puerto Vallarta. I've really grabbed summer by the low-hanging balls, if you will. And I will kind of embrace fall coming along. Kodi?
No, not for me. I feel like I did not get enough summer, and I am sad that it's leaving, and I want it to just stay forever summer, but no global warming. No.
No, right. Yeah. You can always follow the sun, which is what I like to do. And we'll
That's
be
what I
back
wanna
here
do.
in Puerto Vallarta, October 29th.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, so much fun. You can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on Instagram at JRossLopez. JRossLopez. Follow Kodi. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching, or his personal account at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on Instagram. I am _Steve V, and the show, TAGSPodcast.com for show notes and more. Guys, thanks so much on this Labor Day. I appreciate it. And in the meantime, continue having hot
gay sex.